Hey guys, I'm Roland, Techusiast, and I've been using the Lenovo Z13 for more than 2 weeks, and here's how it went. Let's take a look. Before we get into the specifications, let's take a closer look at the design and the ports. The laptop weighs just 1.25 kilograms, making it an ultra compact and lightweight workhorse. Despite its thin profile, it's military grade certified, meaning that it should be able to survive a wide variety of conditions. The laptop is made of aluminium and it feels well made and premium. Lenovo certainly didn't sacrifice on the build quality, and the Z13 will look elegant on whatever surface or desk you use it on. If there's anything that stands out, and not in a good way, it's the Windows Hello sensor and the web camera. Instead of opting for a notch or a bezel placement, Lenovo went the extra mile and included the sensors in a bulge that sticks out. You could argue it has aesthetic purposes, but it doesn't look very appealing. That said, you can certainly live with it and it won't get in the way. Moving over to the ports, the laptop has 2 USB-C ports and an audio jack. I wish it had an Ethernet port or at the very least an SD card reader, but I guess these things aren't exactly made for content creators, so I'll give them a pass on this one. The USB-C ports are USB 4 compliant, meaning they're fast and charging shouldn't ever be an issue when transferring files or powering the laptop. The keyboard flexes slightly, but it's more than acceptable by today's standards, and I didn't see any soft spots that call for cause of concern. The typing experience felt solid, and it took very little time to get used to these switches. The keyboard is backlit, tactile, and the travel is excellent. I also want to highlight that the Z13 comes with a built-in fingerprint sensor located beside the left arrow key. I would have preferred this to be embedded in the power button, but once you get used to the placement, it works like a dream. I also want to highlight that the classic track point is still here, and a simple double tap will bring up the quick menu, allowing you to change the camera and the microphone settings as well as the other options. The palm rest isn't exactly large, but that's what you normally get from a small and compact laptop of this size. As someone who's used to having 15 and 16-inch laptops, it felt a bit uncomfortable, but after a few days I was comfortable enough and it was just fine. The trackpad was very odd by default, but after spending a little bit of time fine-tuning to my preferred settings, it felt much better. It's not quite a Mac, but it's very close, and the force touch feedback felt great. When it comes to the size, it's a decently sized trackpad compared to the palm rest, and it's more than adequate for moving files and navigating around. Overall, the trackpad felt solid and I'm seriously impressed. The Lenovo Z13 comes with a 13.3-inch display, and here I have the 1920 by 1200 Full HD IPS LCD model without any touch functionality. It has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio and the panel is 100% sRGB rated. I've used the display day and night, and while it only has a peak brightness of about 400 nits, it gets plenty bright outside. The screen was colourful when editing photos, and it looked sharp and beautiful when I watched videos on YouTube and movies on streaming services. The screen is large enough to get work done, and I never felt the need for even more space, even though I'm a person who uses large displays during my daily. The web camera is a 1080p sensor with f2.0 aperture, and it does a pretty decent job even in challenging lighting conditions. As for the microphone, it does a pretty decent job once again, and it will work well for video and conference calls. Lenovo claims it has great speakers on the Z13, and I'm happy to confirm that it is indeed pretty good. The speakers have Dolby Atmos and it sounds clear with enough bass. Since it's a business oriented machine, it's better suited for calls, but I enjoyed watching movies and listening to music. Moving over to the performance, this is where the Lenovo Z13 really shines. The laptop is powered by the AMD Ryzen 5 Pro 6550U chip, and it has integrated Radeon graphics. There are 6 cores and 12 threads, plenty enough to get real work done, and I have to say, this is one hell of a beast. It hasn't struggled once under my usual workload, and the 16 gigs of memory managed to keep up with games and even 80 Chrome tabs. It's impressive. Those of you who know me will be aware that I really dislike Windows as an operating system, but I have to say I had a pleasant experience using it on the Lenovo. It felt smooth and there were no hiccups. It performed as expected and as it should, and it seems like a quite reliable device. When it comes to creative work, the laptop was capable of editing large files, but it didn't do any video editing as I'm a Final Cut user. That said, the laptop has plenty of power, and light video and photo editing will not be an issue, and it's excellent for university students who need something that's powerful enough, yet portable and lightweight at the same time. I do want to mention that when you do end up pushing the laptop to its limits, the fans will get loud and the back of the device will get uncomfortably hot. During a 2-hour gaming session, the laptop got so hot that I couldn't keep using it on my lap and I had to put it on a desk. The airflow is critical, and so blocking it will make it throttle relatively quickly, but once you unblock it and let the device cool down for a bit, it'll be more than comfortable enough once again. And of course, a laptop review wouldn't be a review if it didn't include gaming. I tested a Train Simulator and CSGO, and both games performed well. Obviously it's a small and compact laptop, so you shouldn't expect it to play AAA titles, but if you do decide to play a few games in your free time, it should be able to handle most games without any problems. I did have to turn down a few settings to get a comfortable 60 FPS in the Train Simulator game, but other than that it worked flawlessly. Just bear in mind that it's not intended for gaming and the keyboard can get uncomfortably hot, especially if you play for longer periods. The Lenovo Z13 sports a 51 Wh battery and it charges via USB-C. The good news is that Lenovo gives you a 65 Watt rapid charger that can charge you from 0 to 80% in about an hour. Found this really useful, especially as I often ended up using the laptop without being tethered to the wall. As for the actual battery life, I can once again only say that I'm really impressed. The laptop managed to last for more than 8 hours in a single charge using Google Chrome and a few apps on the side. General browsing, sending emails and doing some light work will perform beautifully, and you're unlikely to need the charger unless you increase the brightness or put it in performance mode. That's not to say the laptop can't be drained very quickly. I browsed the internet and played Train Life for about 2 hours and the battery went from 100% down to 60%. I suspect it could do 5 to 6 hours depending on the games you want to play, but of course this is primarily intended at enterprise and business users who rely on special software and tools to get work done. Overall, the battery will last you a long time before needing to look for a wall outlet, and the rapid charging functionality will enable you to do more work without ever having to worry about the battery level. Great job, Lenovo. With that said, let's try to conclude this review and ask whether you should buy the Lenovo Z13 Gen 1 laptop. The thing is, this machine retails for £1,900 in the UK and £1,377 in the US at the time of recording this video, and that's a very steep price. Considering that you can get a higher end Lenovo laptop with a better CPU and GPU, it's a lot to ask for a device like this. However, not all laptops are built the same, and this machine is primarily aimed at business users who are looking for a lightweight, compact, powerful enough machine that can last nearly a full workday on a single charge. Business users often have to pay premium, and if you're looking for the ideal laptop that has plenty of power, battery for days, a beautiful display, a great microphone and speakers, then the Lenovo Z13 is a laptop that won't disappoint. For those who are looking for an everyday laptop, this will likely be outside of your budget, but chances are you don't need all of this to browse the web and do work-related tasks. There are much better laptops for that price, sold for far less than the Z13. And there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. With that said, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.